Chapter 3304, Scorpion Emperor City next, HM? At this moment, a lich with a long poisonous scorpion tail and two huge pincers on his body suddenly froze. He immediately took out the universe AI, and when he saw the information his expression changed. He waved his arm and a 100-meter city model appeared before him. Within the city model there were large amounts of spirit tablets. When he saw that 90% of the tablets were broken, his pupils constricted. What's going on? What happened to Scorpion Emperor City? Beside him, a lich saw the situation within the city model, and his expression changed as he asked. Whoa! The lich with the scorpion tail breathed heavily, his expression changing drastically. No idea, Scorpion Emperor City was attacked, all the universe venerables were killed, 80% of the remaining disciples were killed, roar, damn it. The Scorpion Emperor City Lord roared with rage. Their lich kingdom had 12 main cities, and each main city represented a blessed grotto heaven. It was equivalent to 1/12 of their lich kingdom's strength. And now it was destroyed, directly losing a large amount of strength. How can this be? Scorpion Emperor City had the 1,000-faced scorpion, how could it be so easily destroyed? Could it be a universe venerable? An 8th order venerable lich roared in a low voice with a grave expression on his face. Scorpion Emperor City was destroyed? In the middle, the Lich King looked over coldly. Yes, Lich King, our Scorpion Emperor City was destroyed, only a few disciples escaped, and are now rushing over. The Scorpion Emperor City Lord replied with a dark expression. Damn it, who did it? Who dared to destroy our Scorpion Emperor City? The Lich King's face was filled with rage. Reporting to Lich King, a disciple from Scorpion Emperor City is urgently seeking an audience. At this moment, a lich came in from outside and bowed. Let him in immediately. The Lich King replied. Lich King, City Lord, our Scorpion Emperor City was destroyed, countless of our experts and disciples were killed, you must avenge us. A lich walked over with a sorrowful expression, kneeling in front. Who did it? Scorpion Emperor City Lord's body trembled as he flew over and stared at him. I didn't know either. It was a divine dragon. The lich trembled and shook his head. He waved his arm and an image appeared before them. In the scene, a divine dragon swept its tail, and the terrifying energy instantly killed millions of Scorpion Imperial City's disciples. Dragon God. When the experts of the Lich Kingdom saw this, their faces darkened. Currently the only powerful divine dragons are the Ancestral Dragon, the Light Divine Dragon and the Dragon Palace. A Lich expert looked over and said in a deep voice. A purebred divine dragon with a pair of wings. This is the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. I've seen this information on the AI. At this moment, a Lich expert roared in a low voice. Dragon King of Dragon Palace? He must have eaten a bear's heart and a leopard's gall to dare attack our Lich Kingdom. A Lich expert's expression changed when he heard this and he roared harshly. Just a moment ago they were still saying that the Dragon Palace was just SOSO and did not take it seriously at all. In the end they found out that the other party had destroyed their Scorpion Imperial City. A slap in the face, this was a blatant slap in the face. It's indeed the Dragon King. Damn it, let's head over immediately and destroy the Dragon King. The Lich expert confirmed, his gaze sweeping across the crowd as he roared with killing intent. Dragon Palace, they're courting death. If it's really the Dragon King, I'll destroy the Dragon Palace. The Lich King roared with a savage expression. The loss of a main city was a huge blow to the Lich Kingdom. Within Scorpion Imperial City, there was a Universe Level 8 Venerable under him. There were over a dozen Universe Level 7 Venerables and over a dozen Universe Level 6 Venerables. If all of them were killed by the Dragon King, then their gains this time might not be as great as their losses. After all, to nurture a Universe Level 8 Venerable, not only did they need resources, they also needed opportunities. The teleportation formation towards Scorpion Imperial City and the Scorpion Imperial Grotto Heaven have been destroyed. We can only rush over from Enmity Spirit City. Very quickly, an expert of the Lich Kingdom reported to the Lich King with a dark expression. Upon hearing the news, they were all infuriated. Come, let's head over. The Lich King exuded a strong murderous aura as he flew towards the teleportation formation. The destruction of a main city was a huge loss to the Lich Kingdom. At the same time as the experts of the Lich Kingdom were rushing over, Wuxia was still within the Scorpion Imperial Grotto Heaven. After he killed all the experts in the city, the rest of the liches killed very quickly. In just a few minutes he had destroyed more than half of the city. After sensing that there were no more liches in the city, he stopped his destruction and came to the Grotto Heaven. Hovering above the poison pool, Wang Xian sized it up curiously. This was the first time he had seen such a peculiar grotto heaven. The poison in the poison pool is enough to kill a universe level 8 venerable. I'll keep it and let the Orochi make it into an offensive weapon. Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his arm, a large amount of poison entered the mother nest and was kept by him. The amount of poison in the poison pool was not too much or too little, about tens of thousands of tons. After he collected all the venom, there was a black stone inside. These black stones were densely packed with small holes, and the venom was seeping out from these small holes. It's a pity that most of the grotto heaven in the chaotic continent can't be taken away. They are connected to the continent. I can take away the poison, but I can't take away this treasure land. Wang Xian shook his head. I can't stay here any longer. I have to leave. Looking at the time, he did not dare to stay here for too long. If all the experts of the Lich Kingdom rushed over, Wang Xian would not be their match. After destroying one city, I can prepare to destroy the next one. TSK, unless there are 3 or 4 universe level 8 venerables guarding each city, I can destroy it. Wang Xian's eyes were cold as he flew out of the Scorpion Imperial Grotto Heaven. He looked at the surrounding map and flew in a direction. He did not go to the nearest city because he had destroyed the teleportation formation of the city. If the experts of the Lich Kingdom wanted to rush over, they would be teleported to the nearest city. Moreover, Wang Xian was not in a hurry. After destroying a city, he could take a stroll around the continent. Sightseeing in the chaotic continent. Chapter 3305. So. Not long after Wang Xian flew out of the Scorpion Emperor city, a large number of figures flew over without any scruples. Damn Dragon King. In the distance, they saw more than half of Scorpion Emperor city in a sea of flames. Their eyes were blood-red and filled with violence. The Scorpion Emperor city lord's figure flickered and arrived in the sky above Scorpion Emperor city. His face was incomparably gloomy as he scanned the area below. A sea of flames covered Scorpion Emperor city. Other than the flames, there was only the presence of blood. There weren't any corpses of his subordinates. The entire Scorpion Emperor city had turned into a wasteland. Under his senses, of the more than 10 million disciples in Scorpion Emperor city, more than 90% had died. This was not a small loss for the Lich Kingdom. Let's go to the Grotto Heaven. The Lich King flew towards the Scorpion King's cave with a gloomy face. When they entered the Scorpion King Grotto Heaven, there were no living creatures inside. Other than the Scorpion Emperor's Grotto Heaven, there was nothing left. The Scorpion Emperor's cave is guarded by the thousand-faced poisonous scorpion. The thousand-faced poisonous scorpion is not weak, but it was still killed by the Dragon King. The Dragon King is very strong. An expert from the Lich Kingdom looked around with a gloomy expression and said in a deep voice, "The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is a purebred divine dragon. They have annihilated a few other divine dragon lineages and possess quite a number of postnatal cardinal treasures. Their strength is not to be underestimated. I didn't expect the Dragon King to be so cunning. Previously he didn't dare to make a move because of our numbers. Now he actually dares to launch a sneak attack on our Lich country." A thin and small Lich wearing a bamboo hat, who looked like an old man, said as he stretched out his black bone-like arm and waved it in front of him. Wang Xian's image appeared in the void before him. On the screen, Wang Xian was killing the thousand-faced poisonous scorpion. As a powerful sorcerer clan, it was a piece of cake for the Lich clan to investigate the situation here. Moreover, given Wang Xian's current strength and the current strength of the Sky Formation, they would not be able to stop the experts from the sorcerer country from investigating. Therefore Wang Xian was not disturbed at all. So what if they found out that he did it? This Dragon King is quite powerful. The 11 Liches narrowed their eyes, their faces filled with solemn expressions. Many of the Liches present admitted that they couldn't kill the thousand-faced poisonous scorpion so quickly. No matter what, the Dragon Palace's Dragon King dared to attack our Lich Kingdom. That is equivalent to declaring war on our Lich Kingdom. The Lich King stared at them coldly. His eyes were filled with malice. If the Dragon Palace wants to start a war, we, the Lich Kingdom, don't have any scruples. Destroy the Dragon Palace. He roared out the last 4 words. Destroy the Dragon Palace. If the leader of the forces surrounding the continent destroyed a city of the Lich Kingdom, the Lich Kingdom could naturally take revenge and declare war. Your Lich King, the Dragon King, is very powerful. It is very likely that he is heading to our other cities. We must be prepared. A Lich city lord said and frowned. If we go to destroy the Dragon Palace, we won't be able to do anything if the Dragon King continues to attack our main city. We must take revenge for destroying our Scorpion Emperor city. The Scorpion Emperor city lord bellowed with murderous intent. I have an idea. Half of the experts will attack the Dragon Palace while the other half will stay behind to guard the Lich Kingdom. Seal all the main cities and be on high alert. Once a main city is under attack, inform us immediately. We will send reinforcements to destroy the Dragon Palace. All right. The Lich King pondered for a moment before nodding his head heavily. As long as they were on high alert, it would only take them a few seconds to send reinforcements through the teleportation formation. The Dragon King was alone. It wouldn't be difficult for them to deal with him. Half of the experts in the Lich Kingdom could fend off the Dragon King. As for the other half, they would head to the continent to attack the Dragon Palace. Let's go back and discuss this further. The Lich King ordered. The group of experts immediately flew back to the main city behind. Just as the Lich Kingdom was discussing everything, Wang Xian was already far away from the Scorpion Emperor city. He used the 8 Brilliance Dragon Scale to change his aura easily to prevent himself from being chased. I can't fly any deeper. The strongest expert at the border of the Chaotic Continent is a rank 8 universe supremacy. There will be even stronger experts in the deeper parts. Moreover, the region I'm in now seems to be the territory of another powerful force. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked at the map on the AI. It would be more dangerous in the deeper parts. Wang Xian wasn't prepared to take the risk. At the edge of the great desolate continent, the Lich Kingdom's strength could be ranked in the top 3. The territory he was currently in was the territory of an extremely powerful faction. I'll wander around for 5 to 6 days before heading to the next city. Wang Xian planned in his heart as he flew towards the right. Currently he was flying in human form. In his human form, his entire person seemed abnormally small in this great desolate continent that had opened up the heavens. Sometimes even an ordinary bug was much bigger than him. Buzz buzz buzz. After flying for 3 days in the Chaotic Continent, he suddenly felt a strong energy wave coming from his front left. Sensing this energy fluctuation, a surprised look appeared on his face. This energy wave felt like a spiritual treasure. He squinted his eyes and flew towards that direction quickly. Dragon Eye. As he got closer, he sensed the aura and his dragon eyes flickered. The scene in front of him appeared in his sight. A khaki-colored shield rose from the ground slowly. The entire shield looked ancient and had the markings of heaven and earth on it. This is? A spiritual treasure has been unearthed? Wang Xian was shocked. There were many acquired spiritual treasures in the Chaotic Continent. Especially acquired spiritual treasures. If one was lucky, he could pick them up in the Chaotic Continent. Even acquired spiritual treasures could be picked up, just that the chances were lower. The unearthed spiritual treasure was an opportunity for any living being. If one could get the spiritual treasure, it would belong to them. The shield before him contained a strong aura and was definitely not an acquired spiritual treasure. It was an acquired treasure. I didn't expect to encounter an acquired treasure. My luck is pretty good. Wang Xian squinted his eyes. An acquired treasure was a powerful treasure even for an expert of his level. I'm not the only one. There are many people around. Wang Xian looked around. In his vision, there were 3 groups of people surrounding the khaki-colored shield. A khaki-colored giant python demonic beast with khaki-colored horns was looking around coldly. One was wrapped in white cloth and looked like a mummy. There were also dozens of experts from the Lich Kingdom. Chapter 3306. Wrapped Corpse Tribe. I didn't expect an acquired cardinal treasure to attract so many experts. 3 rank 7 universe venerables. Wang Xian stared ahead. In his line of sight, each of the 3 forces had a level 7 universe venerable holding the fort. There were also some experts lying in wait, but they didn't dare to rush over directly. A postnatal treasure is also a pretty good treasure. Wang Xian squinted his eyes. In the center of the battlefield, the strength of the 3 forces was not too far apart. They glanced at each other vigilantly in case the other party suddenly attacked. With the balance between the 3 forces, no one dared to take the initiative to snatch it. Swish. At this time, Wang Xian's figure flickered and appeared beside the acquired cardinal treasure. With a wave of his arm, a wave of energy shrouded it. Oh no, someone is trying to snatch it. Attack. Brr. Brr. Wang Xian's sudden appearance changed the situation of the 3 forces. They immediately launched their attacks towards him. Wang Xian ignored their attacks. The Tai Chi dragon plate revolved around him and easily blocked their attacks. He stretched out his palm and grabbed the acquired cardinal treasure, the Earth Attribute Shield. The opponent is strong. Rank 8 Universe Venerables. When the experts of the three forces saw that their attacks had been easily blocked, their faces changed. A rank 8 Universe Venerables was almost invincible in this region. Wang Xian moved his arm and kept the acquired cardinal treasure in his hand. TSK, this is indeed the chaotic continent. It's so easy to obtain an acquired cardinal treasure. He murmured with a smile on his face. In the next moment he looked around and fixed his eyes on the experts from the sorcerer country. Run. Sensing Wang Xian's unfriendly gaze, the sorcerers from the sorcerer country fled without any hesitation. Swoosh. Behind Wang Xian, the unbeginning Saint Wings flapped and flashed past them at a terrifying speed. Now who are you? We are from the sorcerer country. Are you going to make an enemy out of the sorcerer country? The leading rank 7 Universe Venerables from the sorcerer country shouted angrily when he saw Wang Xian charging towards them. Wang Xian ignored their shouts and killed a dozen sorcerer country experts. Go. When the horned python saw this, it swayed its huge body and instantly fled into the distance. Were you senior? This treasure was unearthed from our Wrapped Corpse tribe's territory. The mummy-like expert from the Wrapped Corpse tribe, who was wrapped in white cloth, asked coldly when he saw Wang Xian obtaining the postnatal cardinal treasure and killing the group of experts from the shaman country. It was as though a corpse was speaking. Acquired treasures belong to those who are capable, said Wang Xian plainly as he looked at them. He naturally knew about the Wrapped Corpse race. It was also one of the top powers at the edge of the desolate continent. Its strength was not weaker than the shaman nation. The Wrapped Corpse race's cultivation method was very special. Their body shape was similar to humans but not like humans. The post-celestial treasure in our domain should belong to us, the Wrapped Corpse tribe. Please return it to us, sir. The leader of the Wrapped Corpse tribe, who was completely wrapped in white cloth, continued to speak in a cold voice. When Wang Xian heard him, he squinted his eyes and scanned the crowd. You guys can try and see if you can take it away. The people of the Wrapped Corpse clan were slightly silent. Their faces and eyes could not be seen clearly. No one knew what they were thinking about at this moment. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment and did not make a move. Instead he turned and flew out. Swish, swish, swish. Just as he was about to fly out, strips of blood-stained white cloth swept towards him. Seeing the horrifying power of the white cloth, he narrowed his eyes. The other party was deliberately stalling for time. The experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe had arrived. At the next moment, Wang Xian could only feel the surrounding scenery changing. The surroundings were wrapped by countless white cloths, forming a special space. In this space there were 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe. They hovered in a triangle around Wang Xian and locked onto him. Take out the post-celestial treasure of our Wrapped Corpse tribe. Otherwise you will become nourishment for our Wrapped Corpse cloth. The expert from the Wrapped Corpse race said coldly in the front. Their voices were incomparably cold, without the slightest emotion. Wang Xian felt uncomfortable listening to their voices. As he could not see the faces of the members of the Wrapped Corpse tribe clearly, he did not realize that they were stalling for time on purpose. However, Wang Xian was not bothered by the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe who had the combat strength of a rank 8 Universe Venerable. He moved his palm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. He looked at the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe and said, "You guys can't stop me. If you want to fight, you will be courting death." Wang Xian did not want to have a conflict with the experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe. Now that he had yet to settle the matter of the witch country, he did not want to offend such a powerful force. However, it was impossible for him to hand over the post-celestial treasure. Treasures belonged to those who were capable. Swish, swish, swish. As soon as he finished his sentence, the Wrapped Corpse cloth attacked him. The Wrapped Corpse cloth swept towards Wang Xian with sharpness and mysteriousness. Wind attribute and dark attribute. Wang Xian was slightly shocked when he felt the energy from the Wrapped Corpse cloth. The Wrapped Corpse tribe controlled 2 attributes. Get lost. Wang Xian growled. The 5 elements grindstone released the destructive aura of the 5 elements and attacked the Wrapped Corpse cloth. In that instant of collision, the Wrapped Corpse cloth seemed to have been contaminated by the energy of the 5 elements grindstone and turned a little gray. Kill. When the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe saw this, they let out a cold murderous cry. The Wrapped Corpse cloth turned into a bloody cloth instantly. On the surface of the bloody cloth, blood-red mummies were formed. They charged towards Wang Xian and bit him. You guys have really infuriated me. Let's end this quickly. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with murderous intent. This was the territory of the Wrapped Corpse tribe and he could not stay here for too long. Roar, roar. Wang Xian let out a loud roar and transformed into his divine dragon form. 8 Dragon's Doppelganger. After transforming into his divine dragon form, he immediately unleashed his strongest attack. Laws of Dharma, 8 Dragon's Doppelganger. He had to break through this place as soon as possible or annihilate the experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe. These cold and emotionless Wrapped Corpse tribe members made him feel extremely uncomfortable. When the 8 divine dragon shadows appeared and the 5 elements grindstone released a horrifying attack, the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe paused for a moment. Bam bam bam. The powerful 8 dragon doppelganger attacked in all directions. Huge cracks appeared on the Wrapped Corpse cloth. The 5 elements grindstone also released a horrifying destructive river that swept across the surroundings. Chapter 3307, Kill Kill Kill. Sensing the immense strength that Wang Xian had unleashed, the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe let out a low growl. Their shrouds flew out of their bodies. Gradually, the true faces of the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe appeared before Wang Xian. Each of the 3 old men was incomparably pale. Their skin was white, even their eyeballs were white. It was a little creepy, as if he was a freak among humans. Their white arms were holding onto long burial cloths as they attacked Wang Xian with their natal burial cloths. From the burial cloth, Wang Xian could feel the terrifying power of the wind attribute. You've really angered me. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. He was not prepared to fight to the death with the 3 experts of the Wrapped Corpse clan, but since they did not allow him to leave, they could not blame him for being fierce. Did they really think that he was afraid of them? Die. Wang Xian let out a violent roar. The Tai Chi dragon plate revolved around his body. He no longer intended to break through and escape. Instead, he attacked an expert from the Wrapped Corpse tribe. At the same time, the great grindstone of 5 elements shone brightly, and a grayish shadow of a divine dragon rushed out from it. All sorts of acquired spiritual treasures and acquired supreme treasures attacked that expert from the Shrouded Corpse clan. Be careful. When the 2 experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan saw Wang Xian locking onto one of their clansmen, their expressions changed as they shouted coldly. A pair of miserable eyes were filled with traces of blood. Without any hesitation, the 2 of them extended the power of darkness to their natal shroud. In an instant, the natal shroud turned into a demonic sword and pierced towards Wang Xian. However, at this moment Wang Xian had completely disregarded the attacks of the 2 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe. He stared coldly at the expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan in front of him. Die. The eyes of the expert from the Wrapped Corpse tribe were filled with violence. The shroud in front of him extended and struck towards Wang Xian. At the side, the gray divine dragon formed by the 5 elements grindstone charged towards the shroud with a terrifying attack. The shroud was instantly suppressed by the 5 elements grindstone's attack. This caused the expression of the Wrapped Corpse clan's powerhouse to change drastically. Die. At this moment, Wang Xian's attack followed closely behind. You're the one who will die. When the expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan saw Wang Xian charging towards him, there wasn't the slightest fear on his face. This was because the other 2 experts from the Wrapped Corpse tribe had already launched their attacks at Wang Xian from the side. Boom! The 2 natal shrouds emitted terrifying energy as they landed on Wang Xian. However, at this moment the Tai Chi dragon coil spun. That terrifying attack landed on him, causing ripples to form around him. The attacks of the 2 experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan were completely blocked. What? At this moment, the experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan who were at the front finally had a drastic change of expression. Roar! Wang Xian bellowed. The dragon claw exuded a grayish destructive force as it clawed at him. That expert from the Wrapped Corpse race stretched out his palm. Boundless power of darkness blocked the attack. Pooh! However, under Wang Xian's terrifying attack, the dragon claws penetrated the darkness and grabbed hold of his body. Do you really think that I don't dare to fight you because I'm afraid of you? A cold glint flashed in Wang Xian's eyes as he clenched his dragon claws. Pooh! Terrifying energy engulfed their bodies and killed them instantly. How is this possible? How can his defense be so terrifying? At the side, the other 2 experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan were embarrassed when they saw their all-out attack landing on Wang Xian. On the contrary, one of their companions was killed. Their eyes were filled with shock and anger. Roar! In the next moment, Wang Xian's figure disappeared instantly. When he reappeared, he was already behind an expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan. Be careful. The other expert immediately warned loudly with a drastic change in his expression. In a situation where they were fighting 3 against 1, one of them was killed by the other party. Now, they were also in a dangerous situation. Swish, swish, swish. Sensing Wang Xian's attack, that expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan waved his arm. The natal shroud in front of him quickly wrapped around his body. Bam! However, at this moment the terrifying attack landed on him, causing him to spurt out blood. The natal shroud that had yet to wrap him completely was dyed red. Bam! In the next moment, a sharp sword flew out from the 5 elements grindstone and pierced the body of the expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan. The sharp sword penetrated the natal shroud and penetrated his body. The attack from the expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan landed on Wang Xian. However, it still couldn't break through the defense of the Tai Chi dragon plate. Bam! The dragon claws landed on the body of the second expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan. Terrifying energy engulfed him. Run! The last expert from the Wrapped Corpse clan had a drastic change in his expression. Seizing the opportunity, he vanished instantly. At the side, more than 10 experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan also fled in a panic. Tisk. Seeing them fleeing, Wang Xian didn't continue to chase after them. He waved his arm and kept the corpses into the mother nest. He looked around and didn't dare to stay any longer. He left immediately and flew out of the territory of the Wrapped Corpse clan. 10 minutes after he left, more than 10 experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan flew over. They stood there with a cold and gloomy aura for a full 5 minutes before they left. It's just a postnatal cardinal treasure and the competition is so intense. After Wang Xian left the territory of the Wrapped Corpse clan, he shook his head slightly. He transformed into his human form and continued traversing through the chaotic continent. Because of a postnatal cardinal treasure, 2 rank 8 universe venerables died. This might be something that the Wrapped Corpse clan didn't expect. It was too difficult to kill someone of the same level. If Wang Xian didn't rely on his terrifying speed and strong defense, it would be hard for him to kill someone of the same level. However, the 3 experts from the Wrapped Corpse clan thought that they had Wang Xian in the bag. Hence, they were killed by him. However, obtaining in postnatal cardinal treasure and 2 corpses of rank 8 universe venerables is still a great harvest. Wang Xian murmured and revealed a smile. As for the possibility of offending the Wrapped Corpse clan, he wasn't too concerned. The Wrapped Corpse clan still couldn't break through the defense of the Dragon Palace. Get ready and continue. Wang Xian murmured. With a move of his body, he opened the universe AI. Next, he was preparing to attack another city in the Lich country. He had already chosen his target, the 5 insect city in the Lich country. The 5 insect city wasn't far from where Wang Xian was now. This time it might be different from the previous time. This time the Lich country should be prepared. I have to be more careful and not get surrounded. He murmured. Once he was surrounded, he would still be in danger of dying. Therefore he had to be fully prepared for the destruction of the city this time. Chapter 3308. 5 Insect City is ahead. Wang Xian continued flying in the chaotic continent for another 2 days. A city appeared in his sight and his eyes sparkled. At this moment his body had changed. A pair of horns grew on his head, and his face was covered in red dragon scales. His entire body was covered in dragon scales, making him look like a dragon man. This form wasn't out of the ordinary in 5 Insect City, it was even similar to the liches of 5 Insect City. In 5 Insect City, many liches had all sorts of scales, tentacles, etc. Moreover, 5 Insect City's blessed land could give birth to a special kind of beetle. This beetle had an extremely tough carapace. When Wang Xian entered the city, he did not fly towards the grotto heaven of 5 Insect City immediately, nor did he strike immediately. When he attacked Scorpion Emperor City, it was a complete surprise. The Shaman Kingdom would never have expected Wang Xian to destroy their cities. Under such circumstances, it was easy for him to succeed. However, after taking precautions, the other cities would definitely take precautions as well. For example, they could set up more concealment formations. Once something happened to the city, a large number of experts could be teleported there directly. Therefore, Wang Xian had to be fully prepared for this attack. Quick, after entering the city you are not allowed to leave. 5 Insect City will enter a state of alert. When Wang Xian arrived at the city gate, he heard a voice coming from the front. Has the city been sealed? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly and continued walking in. With his current appearance, even the Lich King would have a hard time recognizing him if he didn't attack. Scorpion Emperor City was actually destroyed, and it was the doing of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. Dragon King of Dragon Palace? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace that surrounded the starry sky? Did he eat a bear's heart and a leopard's gall? How dare you provoke our Lich Kingdom? A force that encircles the starry sky dares to attack us? Courting death. Let's destroy their dragon palace. As he walked further in, he could hear the discussions of the liches around him. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and came to a beast-fighting hall of the Lich clan. There were many people here and all kinds of information could be obtained here. Moreover, he sent a message to Yamada no Orochi and the others to inquire about the situation. Under the current circumstances, the Venom Horn Dragon could do even more things. For example, if the Venom Horn Dragon took some experts from 5 Insect City, it would be able to obtain the Lich country's plan. This way it would be much easier to fight. Wang Xian sat within the Beast Battle Dojo in the Lich Nation, watching the 2 Void God Emperor-level desolate beasts fighting. The surrounding Liches cheered. However, at this moment, at the edge of the great wilderness continent, over 1,000 figures were standing on a centipede-like lich with countless legs, flying rapidly. Heaven-devouring centipede. This was the famous heaven-devouring centipede of the Lich Kingdom. It was also a powerful lich. This heaven-devouring centipede was the mount of the Lich King. Only when war broke out would the Lich King ride the heaven-devouring centipede into battle. The heaven-devouring centipede's speed was very fast. In a flash, it traversed a distance of 1 light year. They flew out of the great wilderness continent, towards the inner region of the continental encirclement starry sky, towards the lair of the ancient sea race. While the various main cities of the Lich Nation were defending, the Lich King led thousands of experts towards the Dragon Palace. Since the Dragon Palace dared to attack them, they would annihilate the Dragon Palace. As the Dragon Palace was the one who attacked first, they did not break the rules. Time passed quickly. Wang Xian was temporarily staying in a lair located within the 5 Insect City. And Lai Mo Sha and the 3 Venom Horn Dragons were standing respectfully in front of him. Dragon King Yamada no Orochi will need another 7 days to break through. However, in this 5 Insect City, me and my 3 subordinates should be sufficient. Mo Sha said to Wang Xian confidently. Mo Sha currently possessed the combat power of a rank 7 universe supremacy. Beside him were the 3 Venom Horn Dragons who possessed the combat power of a rank 6 universe supremacy. As for Yamada no Orochi, he used the corpse of the 1,000-faced poisonous scorpion after Wang Xian annihilated the Scorpion Emperor city. However, he still needed another 7 days to break through. Alright, but be careful. The entire Lich Nation is on high alert. There might be rank 8 universe supremacies guarding this place. Wang Xian reminded them. Yes, Dragon King. Mo Sha and the rest nodded their heads. After which, they moved and vanished rapidly. Lai's figure also moved and slowly disappeared. Wang Xian sat in his room, brewed a cup of tea and waited for news with a smile. At this moment he received a message from Prime Minister Turtle. When he saw the message he squinted his eyes. Are they starting to take revenge now? He mumbled to himself. Rumble, rumble, rumble. At this moment, within the territory of the Guhai tribe, a huge heaven-devouring centipede was flying ahead rapidly. Lord Lich King, the Dragon Palace is in front. A subordinate reported to the Lich King on the head of the demonic dragon. All experts of the Lich Nation get ready. As long as they are disciples of the Dragon Palace, kill them on sight. The Lich King roared with a stern face. Yes. The rest of the experts of the Lich Nation bellowed with stern faces. They stared coldly at the front. Today it had been a month since the Dragon Palace annihilated the Guhai tribe and the Orthodox God races. The experts of the Lich Nation had taken away the treasures of the Orthodox God races, damaging the prestige of the Dragon Palace. However, the Dragon Palace was still an overlord in the continental starry sky. After the Dragon Palace arrived at the Guhai tribe, many forces from the continental starry sky came to visit them every day. Even the forces that were further away came over to send their congratulatory gifts. After all, the strength displayed by the Dragon Palace made all the forces in the continental starry sky fearful. They sent their congratulatory gifts to leave a good impression on the Dragon Palace. In case any reckless disciples offended the Dragon Palace, there would still be room for negotiation. Today, in the ocean of the Guhai tribe's main planet, over a dozen forces rushed over to visit the Dragon Palace. It's a pity that I didn't get to see the Dragon King. However, the Dragon Palace is indeed as kind as the other forces said. They are not too overbearing. Indeed. Be it the Dragon Queen or the experts of the Dragon Palace, they are all kind. This is good news for us. The Dragon King's strength should be at rank 8 universe supremacy, right? I wonder when the Dragon Palace will launch its landing battle. In the sky above the Dragon Palace, over a dozen forces and thousands of experts came out of the Dragon Palace. They all wore smiles on their faces. Boom. Suddenly, a horrifying aura surged over, causing all of them to hold their breaths and turn pale. What's going on? Chapter 3309. What's going on? The experts who had just come out of the Dragon Palace were shocked by the suffocating aura. They were all rank 4 and rank 5 universe supremacies. They were considered strong even in the continental encirclement galaxy. However, the aura from afar made them shudder. What kind of existence was this? The experts from the various forces were shocked as they hurriedly fled. Boom. At this moment, they saw a centipede with a terrifying aura flying over. On the body of the centipede, there were figures that struck fear into their hearts. This group of people did not conceal their aura at all. SSS, so many experts. Who are they? The experts from the various forces were shocked as they asked. Those who are not from the Dragon Palace, scram now. At this time, a cold voice was heard. An expert from the Lich Kingdom stared at the experts from the various forces with a stern face. Under such a terrifying gaze, everyone felt their scalps go numb as they hurriedly retreated further away. Them? What are they here for? Are they experts from the Great Desolate Continent? Everyone's eyes widened in shock. Why did so many experts suddenly appear? Weren't the experts from the Chaotic Continent forbidden to attack the forces surrounding the continental encirclement galaxy? How dare they violate the rules? The group of people flew far away and looked over in this direction. Dragon Palace, you deserve to die. Dragon King, how dare you destroy the Scorpion Emperor city of the Lich Kingdom? You are declaring war against the Lich Kingdom. From today onwards, the Dragon Palace will be the enemy of the Lich Kingdom. We will not rest until we destroy it. At this moment, the Lich King's voice reverberated throughout the galaxy. This was a statement from the Lich Kingdom and also a declaration of war. When the powerhouses of the dozen or so forces heard the Lich King's words, they were shocked. What's going on? The Dragon King isn't in the Dragon Palace. He went to the Chaotic Continent and destroyed a city of the Lich Kingdom. This is too ruthless. Is the Dragon King from the Dragon Palace so ferocious? The Lich Kingdom snatched the spoils of war from the Dragon Palace and the Dragon King killed his way to the Lich Kingdom and destroyed a city? Oh my! At this moment, the powerhouses from the dozen or so forces opened their mouths wide in disbelief. The treasures and divine kingdoms of the righteous god races were stolen by the Lich Kingdom. This matter was exposed and the entire continent encirclement space knew about it. Even the forces at the edge of the Great Desolate Continent knew about it. All the forces in the surrounding starry sky were well aware of the Lich Kingdom's strength. That was a force that had more than 10 level 8 universe venerables, and occupied several blessed lands in the Chaotic Continent. Their strength and foundation were extremely terrifying. Everyone thought that the Dragon Palace would keep the peace and swallow the loss quietly. But what they didn't expect was that the Dragon King would directly charge into the Chaotic Continent and destroy one of the main cities of the Lich Kingdom. They were declaring war on the Lich Kingdom. This was too ferocious, too desperate. The Dragon Palace was no match for the Lich Kingdom. Now the experts of the Lich Kingdom were charging over. The experts of the various forces swallowed their saliva. At the same time they sent this shocking news to the Universe AI. Haha, the Lich Kingdom, when you dared to steal the treasures of the Dragon Palace, you were already the enemy of the Dragon Palace. Since the Dragon Palace dared to destroy your Scorpion Emperor city, we are not afraid of your revenge. Do you really think that the Dragon Palace is afraid of you? Prime Minister Turtle stood in the Dragon Palace, laughing wildly, and roared without a trace of fear. Before the experts of the Lich Kingdom arrived, the Dragon Palace had already received the news. All the members of the Dragon Palace had entered the Dragon Palace. Next, like the main cities of the Lich Kingdom, the Dragon Palace went into defense. They wanted to see who would be the first to admit defeat in the end. Courting death, blow up the Dragon Palace for me. The Lich King roared furiously. He moved and flew towards the Dragon Palace at a terrifying speed. Around him, thousands of experts of the Lich Kingdom followed closely, attacking the Dragon Palace. Die. As they flew over, they had already begun to gather the terrifying power of laws. In an instant, the sky above the Dragon Palace looked like it was doomsday. In the next instant, all sorts of terrifying attacks poured down on the Dragon Palace. Hee. In the Dragon Palace, all the members of the Dragon Palace looked on coldly. Bam bam bam. In the surrounding area, the experts of the various forces in the surrounding starry sky watched the attacks in shock. The energy that could easily annihilate all of them landed on the Dragon Palace, giving off a deafening sound. All sorts of energy tore through the void and drowned the Dragon Palace. In the sky, the Lich King stared coldly with his blood-red dragon eyes. Ha! At this time, when they sensed that the Dragon Palace was not damaged, their faces changed slightly. Continue attacking. I don't believe that we can't break the Dragon Palace. The Lich King roared coldly. Boom boom boom. In the next instant, another round of attacks poured down on the Dragon Palace. The attack power was at least at the level of a rank 5 universe supremacy. With such power, no forces in the surrounding starry sky could withstand it. As the energy poured down, the Dragon Palace remained unmoved and undamaged. The Lich Kingdom still couldn't break the defense of the Dragon Palace. Is this the trump card of the Dragon Palace? The reason why they dared to offend the Lich Kingdom was because of the invincible defense of the Dragon Palace? The experts from the various forces murmured. Damn it. The Lich King swept his gaze across the Dragon Palace below and stopped attacking. He had seen the defense of the Dragon Palace for himself. However, he didn't give up. He didn't believe that they couldn't break the Dragon Palace with their strength. Set up a large-scale array formation. The Lich King ordered sternly. They were from the sorcerer lineage, and the experts he brought this time were inclined towards array formations. As long as they were given enough time to set up a powerful array formation, they were confident that they could break the Dragon Palace. Yes. The rest of the experts from the Lich Kingdom responded immediately. They were mentally prepared for the scene in front of them. After all, everyone knew about the defense of the Dragon Palace of the Divine Dragon lineage. They could also guess that the reason why the Dragon King dared to openly declare war was because of the Dragon Palace. However, the Lich Kingdom was confident in their own strength. Seal the surroundings. If any experts from the Dragon Palace dare to come out, kill them immediately. Any living being that steps into the territory of the Dragon Palace will be seen as the enemy of the Lich Kingdom. A Lich with the combat power of a rank 8 venerable roared. Chapter 33:10. Around the Dragon Palace, the Witch Kingdom's experts began to set up arrays. Apart from body modification, the sorcerer's greatest strength was arrays. Especially when the sorcerer was defending. If a sorcerer was given enough time to set up a large number of arrays, he could even fight 1 against 6 or more. In the past, the Sky Array had used arrays to block a large number of experts. Now, the Witch Kingdom was using the same method. The Dragon Palace relied on the Dragon Palace's defense. In terms of experts, the Witch Kingdom was confident of defeating them. They could completely seal off the Dragon Palace. Once any member of the Dragon Palace came out, they could kill him or her. Under such circumstances, they could set up powerful arrays around the Dragon Palace. If they set up enough arrays, along with some postnatal treasures of the shaman country, they were confident that the arrays they set up could even kill a rank 9 venerable. Using arrays to break through the Dragon Palace. That was their plan. However, setting up the arrays would require a lot of time. The Witch Kingdom could afford to wait that long. Just as the Witch Kingdom's experts were preparing to break through the Dragon Palace with arrays. On the Universe AI, the news of the Witch Kingdom attacking the Dragon Palace had spread throughout the continental encirclement galaxy. When everyone learned that the Dragon King had attacked the Witch Kingdom and destroyed one of their cities, there was an uproar. This Dragon King is too ruthless. So what if he is a powerful force of the chaotic continent? He has to pay the price for stealing the Dragon Palace's treasures. This is a direct declaration of war against the Witch Kingdom. Can the Dragon Palace withstand it? The Dragon Palace has already withstood the Witch Kingdom's first wave of attack. I wonder if they can withstand the rest. All the forces in the continental encirclement galaxy were discussing this war. Who would have thought that the Dragon King would be so courageous? Stealing the Dragon Palace's treasures, I will destroy your city. Too fierce. Before long, even some of the forces of the chaotic continent knew about this. They were all dumbfounded. No one knew the Witch Kingdom's strength better than them. They could be ranked top 3 in their peripheral positions. They were absolute experts. However, a force of the continental encirclement galaxy dared to challenge them and openly declare war. This was unbelievable. Had the Dragon Palace gone mad, or did they have the confidence to resist the Lich Kingdom's attack? The forces surrounding the continent of Starry Sky and the borders of the desolate continent were all paying attention to this battle. At the same time, within 5 Bug City, Wang Xian smiled as he looked at the information on the Universe AI. To break through the defense of the Dragon Palace, one would need the strength of a universe ruler. As for the demonic Dragon Dark World and the Fire Dragon Palace, they also needed the strength of a universe ruler to break through them. As for the other 2 Dragon Palaces, they were not needed. However, they had already been kept and were being devoured by Aosia and the others. Therefore, Wang Xian wasn't worried about the situation at the Dragon Palace. Days passed. The experts of the Shaman country were busy setting up all sorts of formations. They were ready to break through the Dragon Palace in one fell swoop. As for Wang Xian, he was waiting quietly for Masha and the rest, as well as the breakthrough of Orochi. Dragon King. 3 days later, a lich with the head of a bull and a carapace on his back came to Wang Xian's place and greeted him respectfully. Success. Wang Xian stood up and looked at Mo Sha with a beaming face. Yes, Dragon King. If they don't have any other hidden forces, I have more or less figured out the situation in 5 Bug City. Masha nodded and continued, currently there are no rank 8 universe supremacies in 5 Bug City. However, if 5 Bug City is attacked, there will be 6 to 7 rank 8 universe supremacies that will rush over immediately. Other than that, there are 12 rank 7 universe supremacies in 5 Bug City. Another important point is that within the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven, if the experts in 5 Bug City make use of the Grotto Heaven to activate the formation within, they can trap and even kill rank 8 universe supremacies. Those below rank 9 can forget about escaping. Masha reported all the information regarding 5 Bug City. A formation that can trap and even kill rank 8 universe supremacies? When Wang Xian heard this, his heart skipped a beat. Now Wang Xian was very confident in his defense and speed. They were both comparable to rank 9 universe supremacies. Logically speaking, with such strength he should not be afraid of the Shaman country. However, in reality Wang Xian was still very wary of the Shaman country. Because the Shaman country was a sorcerer. The strange curse technique could ignore the defense of the Tai Chi Dragon Coil and directly affect his body. The defense of the Tai Chi Dragon Coil was ineffective. A powerful binding array formation could trap him. Wang Xian's defense was strong, his speed was strong, but his offensive strength was only at rank 8 universe supremacies. Once he was trapped, the experts of the Shaman country could easily kill him. Just like the formation within the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven. Once he was trapped, he could only wait for death. Even with Enlai, he did not dare to take the risk. If there was an attack within the binding formation, Enlai would not be able to block it. Can you break the formation? Wang Xian asked Masha. The formation requires 5 rank 7 universe supremacies within the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven to activate it. At that time I can destroy it from the outside. Masha said. That's great. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked at him. Can you bring me into the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven? If you can kill that rank 7 universe supremacy, it will be even easier. It's hard to enter. With the formation set up by the experts of the Shaman country, I can't break it with my strength. Masha shook his head. After all, he was only a rank 7 universe supremacy, a lich. Alright, go and prepare. When the time comes, I will force my way into the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven and destroy their teleportation formation. Wang Xian nodded his head and instructed. Yes, Dragon King. We will destroy the 3 hidden formations as soon as possible, said Gu Shenwei. Masha nodded his head. You go back first. I will make my move in an hour. Wang Xian nodded his head. Yes, Dragon King. Masha replied and left immediately. Wang Xian looked at the time, walked out of the room and headed towards the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven in the center of the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven. Just like the Scorpion Emperor City, most of the experts in the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven were in the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven. Every Grotto Heaven has a unique and powerful ability. This is why the experts in the surrounding starry skies want to enter. The resources in the Blessed Grotto Heaven are too tempting. If I can occupy a Blessed Grotto Heaven, I might be able to fight against races and forces that are stronger than me. Wang Xian pondered as he walked. To many forces, the battle to land was extremely difficult. Half an hour later, Wang Xian came to the front of the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven. At the same time, in the sky above the Dragon Palace, after a few days of preparation, the formation of the Shaman country was completed. The second round of attacks would be launched at the same time. Chapter 33:11 Lord Lich King. The 28 Universe Venerable Rank 8 Great Formation has been set up. The moment it activates, even a Universe Venerable Rank 9 would die. On top of that, there are more than 57th Order Venerable Formations and more than 206th Order Venerable Formations. The formations are connected to one another. Finally, the Eye of Darkness formation will be able to pierce through even a postnatal treasure. Within the Guhai race territory, a group of liches floated above the ocean of a planet. A lich with a delicate figure reported. Very good. The Lich King smiled. The experts he brought this time were all inclined towards the formation lineage. After 4 to 5 days of setting up the formations, even a rank 9 would be able to kill a rank 9 at the center. To set up the formations, they even used powerful postnatal treasures. When the formations were activated one after another, the final attack would be able to destroy a complete postnatal treasure. One could imagine how terrifying this attack was. Even a Lich King would die in the face of such a formation. Of course, it was impossible to use such formations against the enemy. The enemy would not give you 4 to 5 days to set up the formations, nor would they just stand there like idiots. Only now, to break into the Dragon Palace, could they set up so many formations. All Lich Kingdom disciples get ready, prepare to activate the formations. The Lich King roared, his eyes filled with killing intent. Yes. Over 1,000 liches emitted terrifying auras. Within the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest of the Dragon Palace leaders and Dragon Queens stared coldly at the scene above. They did not believe that a Lich Kingdom could unleash the power of a Universe Lord. The second wave of attacks is about to begin. This is an attack that the Lich Kingdom has prepared for 4 to 5 days. Just looking at the formations from afar, it makes one's heart palpitate in fear. Can the Dragon Palace withstand it? Once the Dragon Palace is unable to withstand it, the entire Dragon Palace will be slaughtered. In the surrounding void, the Lich Kingdom's attack on the Dragon Palace attracted much attention. Some of the bolder powerhouses in the surrounding starry sky came to the surrounding area to watch the battle. Because the Lich Kingdom was restricted by the rules, they were not afraid that the experts of the Lich Kingdom would attack them. As long as they avoided the battlefield, nothing would happen. Everyone was staring at the battlefield. Activate the array. Break through the Dragon Palace and destroy all those who don't know what's good for them. The Lich King ordered furiously. In the next moment, the arrays began to operate. In an instant, the seawater around the Dragon Palace evaporated. Even the entire planet was rapidly collapsing. After all, this was the main planet of the ancient sea race. It was extraordinarily tough and vast. However, the moment the formation was activated, it began to collapse. Next, the Grand Array descended. Do it. At the same time, within 5 Insect City, 5 Insect Grotto Heaven was different from the circular Grotto Heaven entrance of Scorpion King Grotto Heaven. From the outside, the 5 Insect Grotto Heaven looked like an enormous shell-type insect life form. However, it had no life and was much smaller than the Scorpion Emperor's Grotto Heaven. It only occupied an area of about 10,000 kilometers. The position of the entrance was the mouth of a beetle. It wasn't pitch black inside but contained majestic energy. Wang Xian moved and flew into the 5 Insect Grotto Heaven. Roar, roar. The instant Wang Xian entered, a deep roar reverberated throughout the entire Grotto Heaven. Located within the Grotto Heaven, there were many small shell-type nests. There weren't many nests, but they weren't few either. There were about 100,000 nests. Intruders. When the roar sounded, everyone in the Grotto Heaven knew that someone had forced his way into the Grotto Heaven. Who's the intruder? Do you have a death wish? One after another, liches flew out from the nests with powerful auras. Their eyes were filled with violent murderous intent. Anyone who intruded into the Grotto Heaven would be killed without mercy. Boom boom boom. One by one, figures flew out from the innermost nest. Their eyes were filled with wariness. After the Scorpion King city was annihilated, the entire Lich Kingdom was on high alert. Die. Without any hesitation, Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared before him. He placed his palm on it. A wave of grayish energy swept forward. The Annihilation River engulfed the entire Grotto Heaven. At the forefront, the thousands of liches did not even have time to react and died instantly. Oh no, it's the Dragon King. The Dragon King is invading. At this moment, the 10 rank 7 universe supremacies at the back saw this scene and had a slight change in their expressions. The Dragon King of Dragon Palace had come to attack their 5 Insect Grotto Heaven. Dragon King, you chose the wrong opponent. We'll bury you here today. The group of rank 7 universe supremacies had hideous looks on their faces. Choosing the 5 Insect Grotto Heaven was a huge mistake. In an instant, 5 rank 7 universe supremacies had a compass in their hands. Activate the array and trap the Dragon King. They roared. Ka ka ka. In the next instant, the entire Grotto Heaven began to change. The shells formed an egg and surrounded Wang Xian. In this small space there was no way to dodge. The Annihilation River landed on it and was instantly blocked. Huh. Wang Xian's eyes narrowed as he looked at this strange array. Dragon Tomb. He roared and released his nomological mystique directly. A dragon's mausoleum flew towards the formation. Boom boom boom. However, when the dragon tomb hit the array, the shell did not move an inch and did not show a single crack. Aha, don't even think about breaking the array. Just wait for your death. The 5 7th rank venerable liches that were controlling the formation laughed hysterically when they saw this. I've already contacted our superiors. They'll be here soon. When the 5 7th rank venerable liches saw this, they smiled. This array was reinforced by the grotto heaven. It was impossible for a rank 8 universe supremacy to break it. The Dragon King was dead meat. Boom boom boom. At this moment, at another location on the battlefield, the vast array formation began to pour towards the Dragon Palace. Firstly, the combined attack of over 200 Universe Venerables rank 6 formations was extremely terrifying. Following which, over 50 rank 7 Universe Supremacies attacked. The terrifying attack landed on the Dragon Palace, but it did not budge an inch. However, the Lich King and the rest were not in a hurry. What came next was the highlight. The rank 8 Universe Supremacies began to pour. Chapter 33:12, Boom Boom Boom. Above the ocean of the ancient sea race's main planet, terrifying attacks rained down. When the rank 8 supremacy array formations were activated, the entire planet began to scatter. The humongous planet gradually turned into cosmic dust. Only 3 dragon palaces remained suspended in the void. Fire Dragon Palace, Devil Dragon Dark World, and Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace, which was the main target, was in the midst of an apocalypse. When the first rank 8 supremacy array formation landed on the Dragon Palace, there was not the slightest ripple or fluctuation in the entire Dragon Palace. It stood upright in the void, enveloped by all sorts of terrifying energies, without any fluctuation. One after another, rank 8 supremacy array formations landed on the Dragon Palace. When the 5th rank 8 supremacy array formation landed on the Dragon Palace and was blocked, the Lich King's face turned cold. However, it was hard to say until the end. At the end of the array formations, there was still the strongest Eye of Darkness array formation. Haha, the Dragon King is trapped. He's trapped. He's going to die. At this very moment, within the 5-bug grotto heaven, when the array formation trapped Wang Xian, the group of rank 7 supremacies from the witch country behind him revealed looks of excitement. They knew how powerful this trapping array was. Once the Dragon King entered, he could forget about coming out. Within the space of the carapace array formation, Wang Xian's terrifying attacks landed on it, but the carapace didn't leave a single mark. This terrifying defensive power caused his face to be filled with amazement. Just as Demon Fiend had said, once he was trapped, he wouldn't be able to break out. Now it's up to Demon Fiend, Wang Xian said. At this moment, outside the spell formation, beside a lich demon who was holding a compass, a figure suddenly attacked. The terrifying power of darkness turned into a long spear and directly pierced through the lich demon's head. A corrosive and evil energy surged into his body, melting away his vitality. The array compass in his hand was snatched away in an instant. All of this happened in an instant. Yao, what are you doing? The group of lich experts who were still laughing excitedly a moment ago, was shocked by this sudden turn of events. They had never expected that one of their companions would suddenly kill one of them. Not only that, but he had also stolen the formation compass. With the formation compass taken away, the formation immediately began to collapse without anyone's support. For a large array of this level, not a single point could have a problem. Once a problem occurred, it would be very troublesome. A hole had appeared on the right side of the shell formation. The other 8 rank 7 venerables looked at the lich in shock and anger. Haha, die. Anyone who provokes our Dragon Palace must die. The one who attacked was naturally Mo Sha. At this moment, his face was full of excitement and malevolence. Who are you? Kill him. He's no longer a Yu Yao. Kill him. The group of 5 Insect City Universe Venerables roared in rage as they charged towards Demon Fiend. Boom. However, at this moment, a terrifying figure was charging towards them from within the formation in front of them. Pupiu. Wang Xian made use of the moment when there was a problem with the array. He unfurled the unbeginning Saint Wings and attacked the 8 rank 7 Demon Venerables. His speed was terrifying. The rank 7 Demon Venerables could not resist at all. 5 Insect City's only trump card to borrow the Grotto Heaven formation was destroyed by that Yao prediction. Wang Xian's terrifying Dragon Claw instantly killed 5 rank 7 Demon Venerables. His figure continued to flash as he attacked the other 3. No, this Dragon Palace is too fast. We have already sent the news to the lords in the main city of Lich Country. Based on their speed, they should be here in a few seconds. Why haven't they arrived yet? What's going on? No, don't kill me, I don't want to die. The remaining 3 rank 7 demon venerables roared in despair. The betrayal of one of their companions had shocked them. However, they had already sent the news of 5 Insect City being invaded. Based on the speed of the lords, they should be here in a few seconds. However, it had been tens of seconds and there was still no response. What was going on? What was going on? Pupiu. However, even in death they could not understand. Kill. Wang Xian killed them. Seeing that there was no reinforcements from Lich Country, he smiled. He knew that the hidden teleportation formation in Lich Country, the few that Demon Fiend knew about, had already been destroyed. Once it was destroyed and once there were no more rank 8 demon venerables, it would be time for him to kill. Kill. Wang Xian waved his arm. The 5 elements grindstone turned into destructive energy that filled the entire grotto heaven. The liches hiding in their nests were instantly killed. He moved and flew out of 5 insect grotto heaven, his cold gaze sweeping across the Lich Country city. Wang Xian immediately turned into a terrifying divine dragon, spewing dragon breaths downwards. On the 5 elements grindstone, the grayish energy was like a river of time, washing away all life. The destruction had begun. What's going on? Why did the teleportation formation at 5 Insect City break? This is a hidden formation that we set up. Even the higher-ups of 5 Insect City don't know much about it. Damn it, what's going on at 5 Insect City? At the same time, in the center of Lich Country within Lich City, 7 rank 8 demon venerables stood in front of a teleportation formation, their expressions extremely ugly. When they received the distress message from 5 Insect City, they instantly came to the teleportation formation. In the end, they were shocked to find that the other side of the teleportation formation had been destroyed. Even the teleportation formation they had secretly set up had been destroyed. They were very clear what this meant. The situation at 5 Insect City could not be ignored. Not good. 5 Insect City disciples sent a message. They are being attacked by a divine dragon. 5 Insect City is finished, they have no way of fighting back. Just at this moment, one of the Lich Country experts hollered with bloodshot eyes. Following Scorpion Emperor City, 5 Insect City was also facing a calamity. This was a huge blow to their Lich Country. Head to the nearest main city of 5 Insect City, head there right now. One of the Lich experts clenched his fists, suppressing the rage in his heart as he hollered. Their figures instantly disappeared. Chapter 33:13. Due to unknown reasons, Sogu is unable to find this website today. Dear readers, please remember this website's domain name, Book Ocean Pavilion, and find your way home. Boom. Boom. Within 5 Bug City, booming sounds reverberated continuously as the divine dragons wreaked havoc in the sky. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness and eeriness. A series of terrifying attacks rained down on the ground. The entire 5 Bug City was covered by Wang Xian. The insect-like liches were easily slain by Wang Xian. The destruction of the city lasted for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, he flew in the sky and stared coldly at the scene below. Brr, brr. He roared and flew towards the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven in the center. Dragon King. In the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven, Mo Sha, who was residing in the demon, flew over and shouted with a smile. How's the cleanup? Wang Xian asked him. Dragon King, the treasures in the 5 Bug Grotto Heaven have been collected. However, there aren't many treasures. Demon Fiend said, according to the memories in my mind, after Scorpion Emperor City was destroyed and all the poison was taken away by you, Dragon King, the Lich Kingdom took away most of the treasures in the Blessed Land. It seems like those liches have become smarter. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. He wasn't too concerned about the small gains. Go back first and leave this place. I reckon the experts from the Lich Kingdom will come soon, he said with a smile. Mo Sha and the Venom Horn dragons flashed and returned to the Dragon Palace. As for Wang Xian, he flew out. He was very fast and left the 5 Bug City in less than 5 minutes. Boom boom boom. Just as Wang Xian flew out of the 5 Bug City, in the sky above the Dragon Palace in the Guhai race territory, the truly horrifying attacks had just begun. One after another, rank 8 Universe Supremacy Spirit Arrays bombarded the Dragon Palace. The activation of each rank 8 Universe Supremacy Spirit Array shook the heavens and earth. That attack was far from what a rank 8 Universe Supremacy Spirit Array could unleash. It was an all-encompassing attack. There were no longer any objects around the Dragon Palace. Even the fragments of the ancient sea race's main planets around the Divine Dragon Palace no longer existed. The Dragon Palace floated alone in the void, suffering one terrifying attack after another. As the arrays were activated one by one, time passed. The Lich King's expression became more and more unsightly. More than half of the Universe Supremacy's Rank 8 array had been activated, but the Dragon Palace still did not budge. Seeing that there was no trace of the Dragon Palace, he had a bad premonition. The offensive power of the final Eye of Darkness is 10 times stronger than the previous ones. I'll have to rely on this final formation. I must succeed. The Lich King growled coldly. Boom boom boom. Many Universe Venerable Level 8 formations wreaked havoc, but the Dragon Palace did not budge. In the surroundings, all the experts of the Lich Kingdom were watching closely. They also knew that they had to rely on the last array formation now. But when the last formation was activated, a huge hole was torn in the sky above the Dragon Palace. An incomparably terrifying Eye of Darkness appeared in the void. The entire Eye of Darkness looked abnormally terrifying. The Eye of Darkness was bigger than the entire Dragon Palace. When it appeared, there was no other energy in the surroundings. What kind of attack is this? Hiss? Is this the final attack? It looks horrifying. From afar, all the experts in the surrounding starry sky looked at the horrifying Eye of Darkness in shock. But in the next moment, heaven and earth shook. From the horrifying Eye of Darkness, a blood-red crescent moon flew out. Like a blood moon, it slashed towards the Dragon Palace. Boom. An incomparably horrifying collision sound was heard, and the entire starry sky began to tremble. The Dragon Palace was dyed red by the blood-red energy. In the sky, after the Eye of Darkness released this attack, it started to dissipate slightly, as though all its energy had been depleted. This was the final attack. Then there was no then. The blood-red energy that covered the Dragon Palace gradually disappeared. The resplendent Dragon Palace was still standing in the void without a single crack. The Lich Kingdom has failed. They still haven't broken through the Dragon Palace. The defense of the Dragon Palace is too horrifying. Even the overflowing energy of their final attack could destroy us. Yet the Dragon Palace is still intact. Failed. The Lich Kingdom has failed. The Dragon Palace is the trump card of the Dragon King. It's the trump card that allowed them to declare war on the Lich Kingdom. When the surrounding experts in the surrounding starry sky saw this, they discussed in shock. The Lich King and the rest looked abnormally embarrassed when they saw this. The strongest attack that they had prepared for a few days did not leave a single scratch on the Dragon Palace. This invincible defense made them feel helpless. If they couldn't break through, how were they going to destroy the Dragon Palace? But just as the Lich King's face turned gloomy and he was clenching his fists, a message came from the Universe AI. When he saw this message, his face changed instantly. Damn it. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, you deserve to die. A furious voice came from the Lich King. His eyes were bloodshot and filled with anger. The Lich King's rage made the surrounding subordinates turn pale as they looked over immediately. Haha, you bunch of trash from the Lich Kingdom want to destroy the Dragon Palace? Wishful thinking. Just now, our Dragon King destroyed your 5-insect city and 2 of your cities. Just you wait. Our Dragon King will destroy all your cities. How dare you steal from the Dragon Palace? The Lich Kingdom will pay 10 times the price. At this moment, Demonfien's maniacal laughter came from the Dragon Palace. His voice spread across the entire starry sky. When the Lich King heard this provocative and disdainful voice, he was so angry that he almost vomited blood. His body trembled and his eyes were bloodshot. What? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace just destroyed another city of the Lich Kingdom. This. When the Lich Kingdom was attacking the Dragon Palace, the Dragon King was also attacking the Lich Kingdom. Gosh, it can't be. The Lich Kingdom didn't manage to destroy the Dragon Palace. Instead, the Dragon King destroyed another city of the Lich Kingdom? When the surrounding experts in the surrounding starry sky heard this, they were shocked. Isn't this Dragon Palace too strong? The Dragon King is too strong. The main city of the Lich Kingdom was destroyed just like that. Does this mean that the Dragon Palace is in an invincible position? The Dragon King has the upper hand? This was something that everyone found unbelievable. The strength of the Lich Kingdom could be ranked in the top 3 in the periphery of the chaotic continent. If such an existence was defeated by the Dragon Palace, one could imagine the strength of the Dragon Palace. Chapter 33:14, Dragon Palace, don't be arrogant. We, the Lich Kingdom, will not rest until we destroy the Dragon Palace. Unless you never come out, I will kill every single one of you that come out. The Lich King stared at the Dragon Palace with his blood-red eyes and roared furiously. The experts from the Lich Kingdom sent a message. 5 Insect City was destroyed. The teleportation formation they had set up in advance was destroyed. Almost all the disciples in 5 Insect City were killed. The loss this time was no less than that of Scorpion Emperor City. Even though they had made preparations, the Dragon King still destroyed a city. This made him furious. The destruction of a city was no small matter. Lich King, what should we do now? Many experts from the Lich Kingdom spoke with unsightly expressions on their faces. They had vowed to destroy the Dragon Palace. In the end, not only did they fail to do so, they lost another city. This time the Lich Kingdom had lost face. Continue to set up the formation. Seal the formation and seal the Dragon Palace. Don't let anyone out. Don't let the Dragon Palace absorb the energy of the universe. The Lich King roared with a stern face. Yes. The experts from the Lich Kingdom replied immediately. At this time, the Lich Kingdom could not bow down and admit defeat. They still had other means. Seal the Dragon Palace. Stop the Dragon Palace from absorbing the energy of the universe. Once the entire Dragon Palace was sealed, without resources and excess energy, how could the members of the Dragon Palace cultivate? How could they get out? The Lich King even had an idea in mind. He wanted to turn this space into a huge cage and imprison the entire Dragon Palace in this void cage. If they could not break through the Dragon Palace, they would never let the members of the Dragon Palace out. Set up the formation immediately. Seal the formation and seal the entire starry sky. The experts from the Lich Kingdom started to move. A new formation started to form. Is this the third wave of attack from the Lich Kingdom? In the surrounding void, the group of experts surrounding the starry sky looked on in shock. Obviously, the Lich Kingdom had not given up. At this moment, the Dragon Palace made a statement that everyone felt was extremely domineering. Warning the Lich Kingdom, return all the god kingdoms and treasures of the righteous god races. Otherwise we will massacre your main cities one by one. It was a very domineering and powerful statement as well as a very powerful warning. This caused an uproar among the experts of the various forces. The Lich Kingdom was still attacking the Dragon Palace, but the Dragon Palace still dared to say such a thing. Everyone was shocked. However, in the face of the Dragon Palace's statement, the others had to believe it. Up until now, the Lich Kingdom couldn't do anything to the Dragon Palace. Instead, the Dragon Palace had caused the Lich Kingdom to suffer heavy losses. 2 of their main cities had been destroyed. Damn it. When the Lich King got the news, he went berserk. Infuriated, he unleashed a barrage of attacks at the Dragon Palace. I'm going to turn this space into a heaven and earth prison. I'm going to lock everyone in the Dragon Palace here and never let them out. The Lich King roared furiously, his voice spreading far and wide. Hee hee. At the same time, in the chaotic continent, Wuxia was on top of a mountain, eating the roasted meat of a universe supremacy level wild beast. He was leisurely checking the information on the computer, especially the latest news about the Dragon Palace and the Lich Kingdom. After the 5-bug city is destroyed, the Lich Kingdom will probably be more vigilant. They might set up more traps. Wuxia took a bite of the roasted meat and mumbled. After the 2 main cities were destroyed, their vigilance would probably reach a terrifying level. However, Wuxia wasn't anxious. Since the Lich Kingdom wanted to play with the Dragon Palace, he would play with them. 3 more days, Orochi should be done with the breakthrough. Wuxia squinted his eyes, his face full of smiles. Once Orochi had the combat power of a rank 8 universe supremacy, it would be even easier. Let Orochi enter a city alone. If there were rank 8 universe supremacies, it would be even better. If he could find a chance to parasitize them, it would be easy to destroy a city. If there weren't any level 8 venerable experts guarding the place, then the Orochi would just let all the level 7 venerable liches become parasites. Then he would gather all the supremacies and kill them. Finally, he would destroy the city. Without the help of the venerable realm, Wuxia and Orochi would only need a dozen seconds to destroy a city if they worked together. Therefore Wuxia wasn't anxious. Since the Lich Kingdom wanted to destroy the Dragon Palace, he would drag it out with them. Let's see who would be the first to admit defeat. As for the Lich Kingdom's blockade of the Dragon Palace, Wuxia wasn't concerned at all. Even without an lie, there were teleportation formations within the Dragon Palace that could be used to head to other Dragon Palaces. The Lich Kingdom's actions didn't affect the Dragon Palace at all. The next target will be Blackwing City next to the Lich City. Wuxia looked at the map on the Universe AI and mumbled. After finishing the roasted meat in his hand, he flew towards Blackwing City. Blackwing City could be said to be the second main city of the Lich Kingdom. The number of experts in Blackwing City was much more than that of Scorpion Emperor City and Five Bug City. Moreover, there would be a constant gust of black wind blowing from the blessed grotto heaven in Blackwing City. This black wind was extremely beneficial for cultivation. As a result, many experts of the Lich Kingdom had gathered in Blackwing City. Wang Xian guessed that there should be a rank 8 Universe Supremacy expert in Blackwing City. Now he hoped that there would be such an expert in Blackwing City. Once a rank 8 Universe Supremacy Lich was a top existence among the Lich Kingdom city lords. They knew about the precautions and plans of the Lich Kingdom. As long as they could parasitize it, it would be much easier to destroy Blackwing City. Wang Xian flew across the chaotic continent at high speed. Based on the distance, it would take him at least 10 days to arrive. However, within 10 days Orochi's upgrade was completed. Open the formation. At the same time, the Lich King shouted coldly from above the Dragon Palace. When the Liches of the Lich Kingdom sealed off the Dragon Palace, they paid a huge price to set up a teleportation array. This teleportation formation could bring the experts of the Lich Kingdom to this void in an instant. Such a long-distance teleportation would consume a lot of treasures. However, the furious Lich King didn't care about such consumption. He wanted to fight the Dragon Palace to the end. Lich King, the formation has been opened. A rank 8 Universe Supremacy Lich reported. You guys stay here first. I'll go and make some arrangements. The Lich King said coldly and instantly left through the teleportation formation. He had some instructions for the defense of the other cities and the elimination of the Dragon King. Chapter 33:15 Greetings, Lord Lich King. Within Lich City, 7 rank 8 supremacies from the Lich Kingdom greeted the Lich King respectfully. In this hall, there were only a few of the top experts of the Lich Kingdom. Even the rank 7 supremacies did not have the right to participate this time. What happened at 5 Insect City was completely out of the Lich King and the rest's expectations. Under the circumstances where they had already set up a hidden formation, it was still destroyed. There was a high possibility that the experts of the Lich Kingdom had leaked it. This leak might not have been intentional, but the outcome was the same for the Lich King and the rest. Hence, in the following main cities, only the rank 8 supremacies would know about the teleportation formations. The rest of the disciples would not know about it. Continue to increase the number of teleportation formations. In addition, all of you need to control at least 3 teleportation formations. Only you will know about these 3 teleportation formations. The Lich King instructed coldly. Yes, Lord Lich King. We will prepare immediately. This time, if the Dragon King enters our cities again, we will kill him. A Lich said confidently. Now that we still have 10 main cities, we can split into 7 cities to defend. If the Dragon King continues to attack, the chances of us meeting him will increase greatly. At that time, as long as we hold him back, it will be much easier to kill him. A Lich said slowly. The few Liches beside him nodded in agreement. Now all the races and forces at the edge of the chaotic continent are looking at our Lich Kingdom as a joke. This time we can't let the Dragon King destroy our cities. We must kill him. The Lich King roared furiously. Yes. The peak-level Liches of the Lich Kingdom immediately responded. I will personally defend Lich City. The 7 of you head to the other 7 main cities. As the Lich King spoke, he waved at them. The group of Liches immediately left to set up the teleportation formations and defend the main cities. Dragon Palace Dragon King, I will definitely kill you. The Lich King sat on his throne, his face filled with rage and murderous intent. 2 cities were destroyed and a large number of disciples were killed. The arrogance of the Dragon Palace on the universe AI. The Lich King would make the Dragon Palace pay a heavy price. As the days passed, Wang Xian was getting closer and closer to Blackwing City. While he was rushing over, Orochi had already achieved a breakthrough in the Dragon Palace. Now, Yamada no Orochi was the second member of the Dragon Palace with the combat power of a Universe Venerable rank 8. With Orochi's breakthrough, the next step would be much easier. On the 8th day, the starry sky around the Dragon Palace had undergone a terrifying change. There was not a single ray of light in the entire starry sky. There was not the slightest trace of life. As far as the eye could see, the pitch-black darkness was extremely strange, and it was filled with deathly stillness. Only the Dragon Palace was emitting a faint light, like a bright lamp in the starry sky. Around the Dragon Palace, there were many dark red lines. These blood-red lines completely surrounded the Dragon Palace. Sealing formation. This was the sealing formation that the Lich Kingdom had spent 8 days creating. The array sealed off the entire void, turning this place into a land of death. As long as the array was not withdrawn, the disciples of the Dragon Palace would not be able to walk out openly. These powerful sealing arrays were enough to prevent a rank 8 universe venerable from escaping. In these 8 days, all the forces and experts in the surrounding starry sky, including those at the edge of the chaotic continent, understood what the Lich Kingdom was doing. Since they couldn't destroy the Dragon Palace, they would seal it completely. A sealed Dragon Palace would perish over time. This was a very good idea. Next, everyone was waiting for the response from the Dragon Palace. This was because from the statement of the Dragon Palace was not afraid of the Lich Kingdom. All the forces and experts were waiting for this battle. I'm here. Another 2 days passed. Wang Xian was standing in front of a city. He squinted his eyes. The current city of the Lich Kingdom was the same as before. One could only enter but not leave. At the entrance of the Blackwing City, there was a spread of black wings. Looking from afar, it was filled with a powerful aura. Wang Xian did not enter from the main entrance. This was because entering at this time might arouse suspicion. After flying around the area once, Shi Feng hid himself in the void and flew toward Blackwing City. As a huge Blackwing City, the top-notch detection arrays of the Lich Kingdom could not cover the entire city. Wang Xian entered successfully and transformed into a lich with wind attribute wings and green scales. Wang Xian carved a devil soul sacrificial altar outside a small nest that was located in a slightly secluded area. Soon, Enlai and Orochi appeared in front of him. Wang Xian looked at Orochi and revealed a smile. Both of you get ready. Be careful. We're not in a hurry. There's a 90% chance that there are rank 8 universe venerables in Blackwing City. We must succeed in parasitizing them. It doesn't matter if it takes some time. We can afford it. Wang Xian instructed Orochi and Orochi. Yes, Dragon King. Leave it to us. Orochi and Orochi answered immediately. Their figures moved and they immediately left. Wang Xian sat in the temporary lair and waited quietly. He didn't go anywhere but waited for news of Yaki Devilish Chi. Blackwing City was almost twice the size of Scorpion Emperor City. There were also many disciples and experts in the Lich Kingdom. Dragon King, we've encountered some trouble. 3 days later, Orochi walked over from the body of a rank 7 universe venerable Lich and reported with a slight frown. What's the matter? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and asked. There's indeed a rank 8 universe venerable Lich in Blackwing City. That Lich is called Thousand Eyes City Lord. He's currently at the center of the Blackwing Cave. According to the memories of this body, Thousand Eyes City Lord's strength is among the top 3 among the rank 8 universe venerables in the Lich Kingdom. Moreover, his vigilance and detection abilities are very strong. I'm afraid the success rate of parasitizing is not high, Orochi said with a solemn face. There were also experts in the Lich Kingdom like the Lich King. Ordinary rank 8 universe venerables were no match for him. Blackwing City was the second largest city in the Lich Kingdom. Thousand Eyes City Lord was also top-notch in terms of strength. If Orochi can also break through to the rank 8 universe venerables, what's the success rate? Wang Xian squinted his eyes and asked. 80%. Orochi replied. Great. Inform Orochi to return to the Dragon Palace for a breakthrough. We can afford to wait. Wang Xian said plainly with a cold expression. He had killed 2 experts from the Shrouded Corpse tribe and obtained 2 rank 8 universe venerables. Now these resources would be of great use. Chapter 33:16. Days passed and the Dragon Palace was completely locked down. There was no more news of the destruction of the Lich Kingdom. It seemed that the Dragon Palace and the Lich Kingdom were in a stalemate. Someone on the Universe AI speculated that the war between the Dragon Palace and the Lich Kingdom would last for a long time. The Lich Kingdom was still on high alert, guarding against the Dragon King's attack. At the same time, they were looking forward to the Dragon King's attack and annihilation. Once the Dragon King was annihilated, the Lich Kingdom would be victorious in this war. Half a month went by quickly. At this moment, Demon Fiend's figure appeared in Blackwing City. Wang Xian looked at Demon Fiend with a smile. Let's go, he said plainly. Yes, Dragon King. Demon Fiend nodded. His figure then moved, immediately entering Blackwing City. In half a month, Demon Fiend had completed his breakthrough. Next, all he had to do was to wait here quietly. Time passed again and everything was calm again. Demon Fiend and Orochi snuck into the Blackwing Cave. Both of them were parasitic on the Lich experts and could enter easily. However, Wang Xian couldn't enter. Once he did, he would raise the alarm. This was also the reason why he couldn't join forces with them to deal with the Thousand Eye City Lord. Another half a month passed. Orochi and Demon Fiend were looking for an opportunity. Half a month later, above Blackwing Grotto Heaven, in an incomparably luxurious miniature palace, a blood-red lich with densely packed pupils on its arms, face, chest, and even legs stood at the center of the palace. The lich had a smile on its face. Beside him was a lich. This lich's body was trembling violently, and he only had a faint trace of life left in him. Tsk. What a tough nut to crack. It took us half a month to settle it. If not for the Dragon King obtaining the venom from Scorpion Emperor City, we might not have succeeded. At this moment, the Thousand Eye City Lord made a strange sound. Orochi, let's go and fetch the Dragon King. Another lich on the side laughed and said. The two figures moved and headed outside. Dragon King. 10 minutes later, the two liches stood respectfully before Wang Xian and bowed to him. Very good. How's the information you've gathered? Wang Xian looked at them and asked with a smile. I've already grasped all of them. Currently, every rank 8 supremacy in the Lich country possesses a few secret teleportation arrays. Other liches don't even know about these teleportation arrays. If we attack recklessly, the Lich Kingdom can gather 7 Universe Level 8 Venerables to support us within 5 seconds. Yamada no Orochi, who was parasitizing Lord Thousand Eyes, reported. Forget about everything else for now. Let's get ready to destroy Blackwing City first. Wang Xian instructed. Yes, Dragon King. However, before we destroy him, we can collect all the resources in Blackwing City. Orochi said with a smile. How long will it take? Wang Xian looked at them and asked with a smile. 1 day. 1 day later we will come and find you, Dragon King? Orochi said. Sure, we'll make our move a day later. Wang Xian nodded his head and watched the two of them leave. After the two of them left, they immediately prepared to move out. As the city lord of Blackwing City, Lord Thousand Eyes had great authority. It wouldn't be difficult for him to get his hands on some of the treasures and resources in Blackwing City. A day passed quickly. On the second day, City Lord Chen Yen issued a notice. Within the entire Blackwing City, more than 10,000 universe supremacies had all arrived at the Blackwing Grotto Heaven. Why did the City Lord summon us here? I don't know. It should have something to do with the Dragon Palace. It's all because of that damn Dragon King of the Dragon Palace that our Lich Kingdom is in a state of panic. If we can break into the Dragon Palace, I want to transfer the head and body of the Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace to myself. Don't even think about it. Our Lich King has only obtained the dragon head of the demonic dragon. I heard that the dragon head is very powerful. Over 10,000 universe venerables from Blackwing City gathered together. They didn't have too many doubts. Since the City Lord had summoned them, they naturally wouldn't doubt it. Rumble, rumble, rumble. However, at this moment, waves of terrifying energy came from above them. The liches of Blackwing City were slightly startled by this, their faces filled with shock and horror. What's going on? What's happening? Sensing the threat of death descending upon them, the liches roared out in terror. What the hell happened? Why did such a terrifying energy envelop them all of a sudden? Rumble. However, before they could react, the grayish energy swept down from above. At the same time, a terrifying 5 elements grindstone fell. Everything happened in an instant. Oh no. Run. Run. It's an ambush. Run. Those rank 7 universe venerables could still hold on for a while. Trying to escape? All of you die. At this moment, Wang Xian's figure gradually appeared at the side. With a swing of his arm, several chains were launched at Wang Xian. It's the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. What's going on? Where's our City Lord? Where's our City Lord? Voices of despair came from their mouths. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Rumble. But soon all the exclamations disappeared. Pack up. I'll go destroy the city. Wang Xian said to them. With a move of his body, he flew out of Blackwing Cave. Yes. From the depths of Blackwing Cave, Orochi and the rest walked out. To prevent any accidents, they did not show up just now. What happened next was much simpler. When the divine dragon hovered above Blackwing City, the faces of every lich present were filled with fear. Why did the Dragon King appear? Where are the City Lord and the other lords of Blackwing City? City Crusher began. Blackwing City was huge. However, with the 5 elements grindstone, his attack speed was still fast. Streams of grayish energy swept across, covering a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers. Within a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers, all the liches were wiped out instantly. With a mouthful of dragon flame, a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers turned into a sea of fire, as though it was a land of magma. Blackwing City was destroyed at a terrifying speed. The attack this time around was much easier than the previous few times Wuxia had attacked. Within Blackwing City, countless liches screamed and fled in all directions. However, there weren't many people who could escape. When Wuxia began to wreak havoc in Blackwing City, the news quickly spread to the Lich King in Lich City. How is this possible? How is this possible? This time even the Lich King was in disbelief. The Lich King panicked. Chapter 33:17. Blackwing City, the second main city of the Lich Nation. It was second only to Shaman City. City Lord Thousand Eyes stood guard in Blackwing City. As for the Thousand Eyes City Lord, he had plundered the eye of a powerful desolate beast and possessed an abnormally powerful ability. The Lich King was very clear on the strength of City Lord Thousand Eyes. He was second only to him and the Lich country's old imperial tutor. He even had a post-celestial treasure. With the Thousand Eyes City Lord holding down the fort and the second main city of the Lich Kingdom, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace had actually wreaked havoc. Moreover, Shifeng could sense that the teleportation array connecting Lich City to Blackwing City had been cut off. Flying from here to Blackwing City would take 5 hours. This wasn't what angered the Lich King the most. What angered him the most was that City Lord Thousand Eyes' spirit tablet had shattered. Thousand Eyes City Lord had fallen. It could be said that the Dragon King had truly killed an 8th Order Venerable in the universe. Hoo. The Lich King's breathing was a little rapid. He closed his eyes and leaned on the throne. What should he do now? If even Blackwing City was annihilated, how were they supposed to face the Dragon King? There was only one way, which was to gather all of the Lich Kingdom's disciples in 1 or 2 cities. Under such circumstances they could avoid being massacred by the Dragon King. However, concentrating in 1 or 2 cities meant that they had to abandon the other 7 or 8 main cities. The loss was too great, so great that they couldn't afford it. It was a huge loss for them to give up all their cities for the treasures of the righteous god races. Furthermore, 3 cities had already been destroyed and countless disciples had been killed. The treasures of the righteous god tribes could no longer make up for such losses. Bam! The Lich King angrily slammed the throne. The entire throne cracked. Lich King, something has happened to Blackwing City. At this moment, a rank 7 venerable Lich came in and said in panic, "That Dragon Palace Dragon King directly provoked the universe AI. He said. The Lich said, but he did not finish his sentence. The Lich King's face was gloomy as he immediately turned on the universe AI. When he saw the universe AI's Dragon Palace's naked threat, his face darkened to the point of almost dripping blood. There was a picture on the Dragon Palace's statement. The picture was of the destroyed Blackwing City. Below the picture there was a line of text. Lich Kingdom's 3rd main city, Blackwing City, hand over all the treasures of the righteous god races and withdraw from the array around our Dragon Palace. Otherwise, this Dragon King will continue to destroy your other main cities until you only have Lich City left." Looking at these pictures and words, his heart was filled with rage and helplessness. "Lord Lich King, some of the disciples in the cities of our Lich Kingdom are panicking." The Lich continued to report with a gloomy expression. However, at this moment, on the Universe AI, all the forces and experts at the border of heaven opening primordial wasteland saw this message from the Dragon Palace and were in an uproar. Heavens! The Dragon King destroyed the Lich Nation's Blackwing City again. That's Blackwing City we're talking about. It's the 2nd largest city in the Lich Nation. There's even a Tier 8 Universe Venerable guarding it. The Dragon King will strike again in a month. If the 1st main city was destroyed because of carelessness and the 2nd, what about the 3rd? This is the 2nd largest city in the Lich Nation. If this continues, the entire Lich Nation will be finished. Terrifying. The Dragon King's revenge is too terrifying. If this continues, the Lich Nation will suffer great losses. On the Universe AI, countless people were discussing this outcome. They were filled with shock. With the Dragon King destroying 3 main cities, the Lich Nation was once again at a disadvantage. The Dragon Palace's strength and the Dragon King's strength once again shocked everyone. Lord Lich King. Lord Lich King. Inside the Great Hall where the Lich King was, several Tier 8 Universe Venerables flew over. They all had ugly expressions on their faces. In fact, there was even a hint of fear in their eyes. Lord Lich King, City Lord Thousand Eyes. Has he fallen? What's going on with Blackwing City? A Lich City Lord could not help but ask. Now they were also somewhat afraid. They all knew City Lord Thousand Eyes' strength very well. If City Lord Thousand Eyes fell, then if the Dragon King attacked their main cities, wouldn't they also? Thousand Eyes is dead. The Lich King looked at them, his expression extremely gloomy. Dead. The experts of the Lich Kingdom trembled, and their expressions changed drastically. Thousand Eyes was really dead. Who would be next? Lord Lich King, are we still going to be enemies with the Dragon King? Their Dragon Palace might have more than one Tier 8 universe venerable. Even City Lord Thousand Eyes is dead. Even our secret teleportation formation was cut off. One of the Lich experts could not help but ask. The Lich King leaned on his cracked throne, not saying a word. The group of Liches did not speak either. The Lich King knew what they were worried about. The death of City Lord Thousand Eyes, and the fact that even the teleportation formation of Blackwing City had been cut off, caused all the Liches to panic. The Lich King did not want his subordinates to die. Send out a statement, contact the Dragon Palace. We will return all the treasures to them, remove the teleportation formation, we admit defeat. After a few minutes of silence, the Lich King spoke. Hearing the Lich King's words, the group of Liches heaved a sigh of relief. If this continued, they might all fall. Go inform the State Preceptor. The Lich King glanced at the rank 7 Venerable Lich and instructed. Yes, Lord Lich King. The Lich immediately replied, walking out of the hall. Even though he was unwilling, this was the only way. Look at the Universe AI, the Lich Nation has sent out a statement, they want to stop fighting with the Dragon Palace, they are willing to return all the treasures of the righteous god clans. Assess, the Lich Nation has admitted defeat. The Lich Nation admitted defeat, they actually admitted defeat, this is unbelievable. Return all the treasures of the righteous god clans, the great Lich Nation actually bowed down to the Dragon Palace. Not long after, the entire continent encirclement space and the borders of sky-splitting wilderness continent were in an uproar. The Lich Kingdom's announcement on the universe artificial intelligence was too shocking. Everyone was in an uproar. This battle actually ended with the Lich Nation lowering their heads and admitting defeat. This was something no one had expected. A continent encirclement space force, one of the top 3 forces of sky-splitting wilderness continent, to lower their heads, this was the first time in history. This battle was destined to be remembered by all the races. Chapter 33:18 Little Rats remove all the arrays. Around the Dragon Palace, the imperial tutors of the Lich country received the order from the Lich King. The Liches around him nodded their heads silently. Currently they were aware of what happened at Blackwing City. They also knew of the death of Thousand Eyes City Master. Now, bowing to the Dragon Palace was the best choice. If they continued fighting, who knew who would die? But what was certain was that their Lich country would suffer great losses. Many arrays were removed, and the starry sky around the Dragon Palace regained its brightness. Very soon, many experts from the Lich country were teleported over from the nearby teleportation array. They placed the cosmos god nations of the righteous god races in the void. Time passed. Not long later, more than 10,000 cosmos god nations were floating around the Dragon Palace. These ownerless cosmos god nations were a huge source of resources to any superpower. Other than the cosmos paragons, there were also millions of void emperor god nations. The Lich country returned all the god nations of the righteous god races. When the disciples of Dragon Palace saw this scene, they sneered coldly. Seems like the Lich country is quite tactful. If they dare to be arrogant for another 1 or 2 years, we'll wipe them out after Aosia and the rest evolve. Upon seeing this, the leaders of Dragon Palace said with a smile. These god nations were extremely beneficial to the devouring dragon. The Lich Kingdom could be said to have snatched a large portion of the devouring dragon's resources from the Divine Kingdom. If Aosia were to find out about this, he would definitely kill the Lich Kingdom after he leveled up. Now that the Lich country had returned all the god nations, they had dodged a calamity. At the same time, the experts at the border of the chaotic continent knew about what happened at the Dragon Palace. This caused an uproar once again. Bowing their heads and admitting defeat? Within the chaotic continent, Wang Xian squinted his eyes when he saw this news. Now, after killing Thousand Eye City Master, they had obtained the corpse of a rank 8 universe paragon. After the leader of the Dragon Palace absorbed this corpse, the Dragon Palace would have 4 more rank 8 universe paragons. With this number, if they continued to fight with the Lich Kingdom would still suffer heavy losses. But now that the Kingdom of Liches had stopped, Wang Xian was not going to make a move. Continuing to fight with the Lich Kingdom was still somewhat dangerous. All the grievances could wait for a year or two. Go back. Wang Xian murmured. With a swift move, he flew out of the chaotic continent. He didn't return to the Dragon Palace immediately because he had something to deal with. It was a small matter to him now. Enlai, bring the sky formation over. Wang Xian sent a message to Enlai and waited for his reply. Greetings, Dragon King. Not long after, Tianzhen and Enlai appeared in front of them. The current sky formation had already absorbed the corpse of another Wrapped Corpse clan powerhouse, and its strength had already broken through to the combat power of a rank 8 universe venerable. Moreover, after destroying the 3 cities of the Lich Kingdom, he had obtained a lot of knowledge about witchcraft formations and other things. The Heavenly Formation and the Witch Dragon were greatly improved. Check the location of this corpse's divine kingdom. Wang Xian waved his arm and threw a corpse in front of Tianzhen. This corpse was killed by him at the side of the treasure of an orthodox god race. At that time, over a dozen people were killed by him. This was a disciple of a race force in the chaotic continent. Although he was killed, he didn't die completely. He probably survived with the help of a treasure. Not long ago, this guy who escaped had been mocking and cursing him on the universe AI. He was also the one who spread the news that the Lich Kingdom had snatched away the treasure of an orthodox god race. At that time, he even cursed the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian was very displeased with this guy. Now that the matter of the Lich Kingdom had been resolved, it was time to pay a visit to this keyboard warrior and let him know the dangers of this world, as well as the strong malice towards him. Yes, Dragon King. Tianzhen nodded immediately. With the corpse, it would be much easier for him to find the divine kingdom. Moreover, it was even easier now that he had a breakthrough in his strength. Dragon King, this direction. Soon, Tianzhen pointed in a direction and said. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared below them. They immediately flew in the direction pointed by Tianzhen. The speed of the 5 elements grindstone wasn't slow either. Both of them traversed the chaotic continent rapidly. Check the border of the chaotic continent and see if there's a suitable place for the Dragon Palace to live in. Wang Xian said with a smile. Soon, they would be able to enter the chaotic continent. Yes. Tianzhen nodded and opened the universe AI to check. Currently, the Dragon Palace could land wherever they wanted at the edge of the chaotic continent. Basically, they were free to choose. Trash. The Lich Kingdom is trash. They can't even destroy a small Dragon Palace. How dare they claim to be one of the top 3 forces on the border of the chaotic continent? They're trash. At the same time, in a palace in a swamp of the chaotic continent, a middle-aged man roared in anger. His face was full of anger and indignation. He had hoped that the Dragon Palace would be destroyed by the Lich Kingdom and that the Dragon King would be killed. But now, the Dragon Palace had forced the Lich Kingdom to admit defeat. If that was the case, the possibility of him taking revenge would be completely gone. Damn it. He threw things on the ground, took a deep breath and shut down the universe AI in front of him. I'd better recover my strength as soon as possible and get some treasures from my father. The middle-aged man's face darkened and he decided to put the matter of revenge to the back of his mind. He moved and immediately left the palace, flying towards the ground below. Since his hopes were dashed, he wouldn't pin his hopes on revenge in the future. He would recover his strength first. Dragon King, it's right in front. 5 days later, Tianzhen stood on the 5 elements grindstone and pointed to a swamp in front of him. This seems to be the territory of a race called the Deep Swamp Race. This race isn't weak. They have many rank 7 venerable experts in the universe. According to the array, this corpse's universe god nation is here. Wang Xian stood up, looked ahead and adjusted his eyebrows. Deep Swamp Race? Let's go. Hee, let's go and destroy that scoundrel. He said plainly. Chapter 33:19. Rumble, rumble. In the sky above a swamp in the chaotic continent. In this swamp, all kinds of grass grew, and some of them even contained powerful spiritual energy. Occasionally, some flying dire beasts would land on the swamp. This swamp region was the territory of the Deep Swamp Tribe. The Deep Swamp Tribe was a tribe that specialized in the cultivation of the earth attribute. They lived in the interior of the Deep Swamp, and the entire swamp was the best shelter for their tribe. In the center of the Deep Swamp, there was a grotto heaven. The specific effects of the grotto heaven were unknown. The Deep Swamp Tribe had occupied this swamp for a very, very long time. It was so long that many people could not remember how long it had been. It was also because of this swamp that they had formed a natural protection. Few forces would attack here and few forces could breach this place. At this moment, Wang Xian's figure was suspended in the sky above the center of the deep swamp. According to the detection of Tianzhen's array, the holy kingdom of that corpse was hundreds of millions of kilometers below. Wang Xian was suspended in the sky with a faint smile on his face. Rumble. In the next moment he waved his arm, and the 5 elements grindstone below him instantly enlarged and fell directly towards the swamp below. An incomparably violent sound came from the swamp, accompanied by an incomparably terrifying force that struck the ground. At the same time at the position below. In the interior of the swamp, when Wang Xian and Tianzhen came to the sky above the deep swamp, the disciples of the deep swamp tribe below had already noticed their arrival. However, in the sky above their territory, there were often experts from the chaotic continent who passed by here. Regarding this they were not too vigilant. When they felt a terrifying force surging downwards, the expressions of the disciples of the Deep Pool tribe changed drastically. The opponent's strength is terrifying. Their direct attack is definitely a provocation. Inform the experts of the tribe immediately. An old man immediately roared. At this moment, without the old man's command, some experts of the Deep Swamp tribe in the swamp quickly flew out from the palaces. They lifted their heads and looked up. Through the swamp, they could clearly see 2 figures floating in the air, staring coldly at them. Courting death. Who are these 2? How dare they provoke our Deep Swamp race? The eyes of the Deep Swamp race's experts were filled with coldness. Their Deep Swamp race was not weak at the edge of the great desolate continent. 2 people dared to cause trouble here? He was simply courting death. Boom boom boom. One by one the experts of the Deep Swamp race emitted an earthy yellow glow as they flew up into the sky. He's here. Wang Xian looked down and revealed a faint smile. As for the Deep Swamp race, Wang Xian did not take them seriously at all. A race that only had a rank 7 venerable, he could easily wipe them out. Even if the other party had a blessed enclave, he was still confident. Who are you people? How dare you provoke us, the Deep Swamp race? A group of experts from the Deep Swamp race flew out and questioned Wang Xian and Tianzhen coldly. Hand him over. Wang Xian waved his arm and a corpse landed in front of them. When they saw the body they were slightly taken aback. It's Deep Swamp Abyss. It's his corpse. He's not. A few old men looked over and their eyes narrowed. They knew who the corpse belonged to. Deep Swamp Abyss was a famous expert in their Deep Swamp race. He had a rank 7 venerable father and was a rank 6 venerable himself. Seeing his strength, the experts from the Deep Swamp race narrowed their eyes. May I know who you are? An old man asked cautiously. Not long ago, Deep Swamp Abyss and his group went out for the treasures of the orthodox deity races. In the end, only Deep Swamp Abyss survived. Now that the other party took out Deep Swamp Abyss's corpse, the other party was Dragon Palace Dragon King. I know this guy is not dead. Hand him over or I'll wipe out your Deep Swamp race. Wang Xian looked at them and said plainly. What? Dragon King of Dragon Palace. Below, the hundreds of experts from the Deep Swamp race had a drastic change in their expressions. Their eyes narrowed and were filled with fear and panic. This is the Dragon King of Dragon Palace? What the hell? It can't be true. The Dragon King of Dragon Palace is here? Boom. Just as they were all in shock, a terrifying pressure came crashing down on them. Among the group that flew out this time, the strongest was only a rank 6 venerable. Feeling this terrifying pressure, Zhang Xian's body trembled. All the experts from the Deep Swamp race could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Their faces were pale and filled with fear. Dragon King will report to the clan leader immediately and bring him over. A rank 6 venerable from the Deep Swamp race said hurriedly. As he finished, he gestured to the old man beside him. The old man's figure moved and he immediately flew down into the swamp. What? When the clan leader of the Deep Swamp race, who was in the blessed grotto heaven, heard the news, his face was filled with shock and panic. Send someone to get Deep Swamp Abyss here immediately. He roared and immediately flew up into the sky. Greetings, Dragon King. When the clan leader of the Deep Swamp race saw Wang Xian, he immediately bowed and said, Dragon King, we don't know how Deep Swamp Abyss offended you. I've already ordered someone to bring him here and await the Dragon King's punishment. As the clan leader of the Deep Swamp race spoke, beads of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. The person in the sky was the Dragon King, an existence that had just annihilated 3 main cities of the Lich Kingdom. He was an expert that made the Lich Kingdom bow down to him with his strength alone. Such an expert was not someone that the Deep Swamp race could go against. In front of such an expert there was only respect. Otherwise their race could not bear the consequences. Alright. Wang Xian looked at the clan leader of the Deep Swamp race and uttered a word plainly. If the Deep Swamp race had behaved themselves, he would not have annihilated them for no reason. The clan leader is asking my son to go up. What's the situation? At this moment, within the swamp, an old man frowned slightly as he looked at the person in front of him who was reporting. At the side, Deep Swamp Abyss was also frowning as he suddenly had a bad feeling. Left Deacon, the Dragon King has come to our Deep Swamp race and wants Deep Swamp Abyss to go over. The disciple who came to report replied. The Dragon King wants me to go over? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace wants me to go over? When Deep Swamp Abyss heard this, his expression changed drastically and his eyes were filled with fear. Chapter 33:20. Map of Blessed and Heavenly Abode. The Dragon King wants him to go there? Deep Swamp Abyss widened his eyes, his body trembling uncontrollably. Why did the Dragon King call him over? How did the Dragon King find him? What's going on? Then why is the Dragon King here? When the old man heard this he panicked a little. He naturally knew what had happened to his son. This time his son's death was caused by the Dragon King. Now the Dragon Palace had come knocking on their door? This is, Deacons, well, let's hurry over. Once our Deep Swamp tribe angers that Dragon King, we will be annihilated. The disciples of the Deep Swamp tribe urged. No, father, I won't go. Deep Swamp Abyss's face was filled with fear as he hurriedly ran outside. Phew, let's go. The left deacon took a deep breath, stretched out his hand, and a wave of energy grabbed his body. No, father. The Dragon King will kill me. The Dragon King will kill me. Fathom Swamp Abyss howled in terror. How did you provoke the Dragon King? Deacons was stared at his son with an ugly expression and growled in a low voice. Father, I only said a few things on the universe AI. I didn't do anything else to provoke him. Back then he directly killed all of us. Fathom Swamp Abyss shook his head in fear. Deacons' face was extremely gloomy. Do you think we can easily provoke an expert with such an inheritance? Can you even imagine what they're capable of? Let's go. As he spoke, he flew up into the sky with his son. No, father, don't. Deep Swamp Abyss roared in despair. I can't do anything about it. You'll have to rely on your luck next. The left deacon said weakly. Offending the Dragon King was not something he could handle. If they were not careful, the entire Deep Swamp race would have to pay a heavy price. If he had to blame someone, he could only blame his son for provoking the other party. Boom. Soon, the deacon of the left flew out of the swamp with Deep Lake Abyss. Looking at Wang Xian in the sky, his eyes were filled with fear. The Dragon King in front of him was too ruthless. Dragon King, Abyssal Swamp Abyss is here. The patriarch of the Deep Swamp tribe said respectfully. Bus. As Wang Xian moved his palm, the grayish energy turned into a claw and grabbed it. No. Deep Swamp Abyss roared in despair. Bus. Wang Xian's eyes flickered with a devilish glint as he executed the soul manipulation art. He wanted to find out some information. If the Deep Pool tribe was involved in something that would harm the Dragon Palace, he would not let them off today. Deep Swamp Abyss body floated in the void, unmoving. When the patriarch of the Deep Swamp tribe and the others saw this, their expressions changed drastically. At this moment they were a little scared and a little panicked. If the Deep Swamp race were to be implicated, how could they resist this Dragon King? The patriarch of the Deep Swamp tribe was anxious, his expression changing rapidly. With a flick of his palm, a box appeared in his hand. He waited there anxiously. Bam. After checking the memories of Abyssal Swamp Abyss, Wang Xian swung his arm and killed him. Dragon King, the disciples of the Deep Swamp tribe have offended you. This is a gift of apology from the Deep Swamp tribe. Please accept it, Dragon King. Seeing that Wang Xian had killed Deep Swamp Abyss, the patriarch of the Deep Swamp tribe's heart skipped a beat. With a wave of his arm, a box containing a powerful aura flew towards Wang Xian. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and swept his gaze across. Some rank 7 supremacy elixir pills and a postnatal cardinal treasure. This could be said to be a big deal. Dragon King, this is a map of the blessed and heavenly lands. It was obtained by our previous patriarch. It should be useful to you. The patriarch of the Deep Swamp tribe waved his hand again and another box flew over as he introduced it. Map of the Blessed and Heavenly Lands? Wang Xian's interest was piqued. He raised an eyebrow and his eyes sparkled. He opened the box. It was a special stone that looked like a treasure map. On it were some routes and images. Looking at the map of the Blessed and Heavenly Lands, his eyes sparkled. All right. Wang Xian kept all the treasures. His figure gradually turned illusory and disappeared. At the side, the heavenly array also disappeared. Seeing that Wang Xian had left, the patriarch of the Deep Swamp tribe and the rest heaved a sigh of relief. They had never imagined that one day, they would be in such awe of a force that had encircled the starry sky. Dragon Palace. Wang Xian's figure appeared in the Dragon King Hall. After returning this time, he was in a good mood. This time, not only were the treasures of the orthodox god races returned, but he had also obtained a large number of treasures and resources. 2 postnatal cardinal treasures, a treasure map, and the corpses of the experts from the shaman countries that he had hunted. These resources were sufficient to improve the Dragon Palace significantly. It could bring at least 30,000 supremacies to the Dragon Palace. With the addition of 30,000 from the current 60,000, it would reach close to 100,000. Most importantly, this time, it could increase the high-end combat power of the Dragon Palace. After destroying 3 main cities of the shaman countries, there were more than 20 rank 7 supremacies among them. As for the other levels, it was needless to say. Dragon King. Sensing the return of the Dragon King, Prime Minister Turtle immediately came to greet him. Since the main planet of the ancient sea race has collapsed, let's move the Dragon Palace to the border of the chaotic continent. In addition, all the members of the Dragon Palace should absorb the resources and improve their strength. After Aosia and the rest break through, we will land directly. Wang Xian instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle immediately replied. I will now look for some blessed lands in the chaotic continent to see if they are suitable for our Dragon Palace. All right. Make preparations in advance. Also, recruit more disciples. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. The Dragon Palace was not in a hurry to land. They would wait for Aosia and the rest to break through. Moreover, Wang Xian was prepared to recruit more disciples after some consideration. Although 1 million members of the Dragon Palace was not a small number, it was definitely not a lot when compared to a race. He wanted to see if he could recruit another million this time to expand the Dragon Palace. After all, there was strength in numbers. Once the Dragon Palace entered the chaotic continent, they would be competing with the advanced races of the universe. In the future, they might even be competing with the top races of the universe. At their peak, the Divine Dragon race had about 1 million purebred Divine Dragons. There were even more of other dragon species. The number of Dragon Palace had to be increased. With the current influence of the Dragon Palace, recruiting disciples would be a piece of cake. It was estimated that all the experts of the marine races in the chaotic continent would swarm over. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded in agreement. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.